Hey guys, it's Jessica. We are at Maddie O's. There's an echo, like I'm on a microphone. Can't do that.
Well, you can't see your whole head either. You might want to pull down a bit.
Oh, I'm gonna back up, honey.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Somebody who said they're not gonna be on my podcast is definitely telling me I don't know how to do it here. Okay. Hi. Speaking of Maddie O's, this is Corrine, and she is just letting me know that my whole head needs to be in the camera. Welcome. Hey. We are at Book Club for Worth the Pain at Maddie O's Coffee. Look how cool this. I am so backwards.
That's actually fabulous.
Isn't that so amazing? I should come record here every day, as long as I get my head in it. Get your head in the game, Jess. Listen, I'm not going to be paying attention to y'all. These are my people, and you can't see them because there's thousands. But we're going to be talking about my book. So, okay. All right, guys. Hi. Welcome. How are y'all? Don't make it awkward.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, so am I. Thank you for having us, you little sweet angel.
I'm so glad you guys could come.
Yeah. Do you have anything to open us with or say?
I don't have anything to open you
Oh my
with.
gosh.
Absolutely not. I'm just
Awesome.
so glad that this space is being used to glorify God because that's the point.
Yeah.
You know, when we opened this, I asked the Lord why we were doing this,
Yeah.
and He said, dedicated to me.
Mm.
So, just trying to pull everything, podcast together,
Yeah.
you know, book launches, and see what God wants to do. So I'm happy to open this space.
Yeah, so I love that. So when I was doing your hair, you were telling me the early form. When I did her hair.
Not today.
It's been years.
This is not your doing.
I'm just
This is
kidding.
all
She's
me.
working
This is
hard.
all me. I am working hard today. You can tell.
But you were just saying how the early stages of this and what this looked like, and
Yeah.
it was just so cool to see it come to life and seeing all for the authors.
That
and
one's
stuff.
black. Was it supposed to?
Good call. I don't know if it records if it goes black or not, but I do keep it alive.
Yeah.
I should change the setting.
Good
Oh
idea.
my gosh, I'm so glad she's here because I would suck if she wasn't.
Number one, your head wouldn't be in it, and number two, you might be blacked out. So
Yes, I'm so pretty. Okay, all seriousness, no. Thank you so much for having us. Your place is awesome. I love seeing it flourishing and that you've given it to God, and it's awesome.
Oh, I love you, Jess.
Well, same.
Absolutely.
Tell the people goodbye.
All right,
You're done. I love this backdrop. Okay, so did y'all read the book? Wouldn't it be so awkward if
4 days.
I'm still in there. You're supposed to.
you got in there more?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you had to go for
Here.
I was trying to get out of it. I was heading the wrong way.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. That loves the camera. So excuse me as I just sit there and watch Chase get it back. Actually, that'd be so fun. Like if you just sit there and didn't say anything, you just
Stare down. Just joke.
I mean, that's what owners do.
Oh my God.
Okay. Seriousness.
Yes,
How are
4
you?
days.
4 days?
4 days. And
Wow.
that's because I still had to work. If I didn't have to work, I would have finished it probably that afternoon.
Really?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Well, get us
I loved
started.
it. I
Yeah.
loved it.
You did?
Get it started. Oh, the book? Talk
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
book?
I think
loved
that's
it.
what we're here
I
for,
thought
right?
Yeah, it is. But this is the first time I've been to this fabulous establishment to talk about books.
Oh.
So,
But you're a regular coffee drinker. You come
Yes.
here a lot. Basically, you work here, right?
Not enough.
Okay.
I don't come here enough because I'm a snob. I'm a coffee snob and I like my coffee
Oh.
at my house.
Oh.
But I do like their coffee, so I buy their coffee now and make it at my house.
Wow.
Yes, yeah.
And what kind of coffee is that? Like, what
It's-
makes it special?
I think Matt makes it special because he roasts the beans himself
Oh.
and it's a really, I'm serious, it's a really mellow blend and I love it. And what do you say?
Matt does not roast the beans himself,
See,
sweetheart.
so I told him this morning when he said to me that he did this, you know.
You can't believe
I
anything
said
he
to him, I
says.
said, I can't believe that you're lying to me. And he's, no, Sue, I did, I roasted the beans.
Did not
So
roast the beans.
I'm not only high maintenance, I'm gullible. So,
First of all, what
This
you
is
said-
such false advertisement.
First of all, what you need to know about my husband, half truth.
always like that.
Always,
Okay, so
always.
don't believe a thing he
So,
says.
so
Okay.
this is actually our blend. It's our coffee blend.
Well, I love your coffee.
So,
blend, too.
right, this is ours, so nobody else has this. This is the
Oh,
one
right,
that
no,
we
it's a
created.
Mattio's blend.
So that part maybe is what he was trying to say. That is our.
Somebody else
Mattio's
roasted his beans.
blend.
Matt, is that what you're trying to say, Matt? You big lie-faced liar.
He's staying out of it.
Yeah. So this, I can't read it, but the
Yes.
house blend is fabulous.
Yes, this is
It's
our Mattio's house
fabulous.
Can I see it? Can I show the people's?
It has,
Listen, we are sponsored today by Brew Matty O's House Blend Coffee. And they do not roast their beans themselves. But it's their blend, so I don't really know what that means, but come get it.
they did a grand job
For
in
my 5
blending all the
followers.
flavors together. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Awesome.
Mm.
That's great.
So, I loved the book.
Yeah?
I loved the story. It was heartbreaking and inspiring, and it was glorious. It brought me to tears many times.
Yeah.
But I loved the flavoring of scripture in every chapter.
Yeah.
Someone else did that very same thing in her book, and I can't wait to talk to her about hers. But I loved and reading every piece of scripture just brought the story home even more.
I love
And
that.
it made me understand at the end of the book was going to be
Good.
fabulous because you gave it all to God through the process. And it was, I loved it.
I love hearing that because during the writing process, it was just so crazy because I was like, do I want it to be like a sinful, crazy, wild story to a redemption end? But then I couldn't get past anybody reading what I went through and not having hope, you know? And so I wanted them to have hope throughout it because, you know, people in my lifestyle that were in my lifestyle, they may not make it through chapter 1 or 2. So it was like, it was very important to me to have scripture throughout it. I was like,
And that's exactly what it did. Every time I read the scripture that you placed in the chapters,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it did. It hit it home beautifully. And the letter, I reread it again this morning, and it hit me again so deeply. The letter from your friend, who
oh,
the piece,
Jana Ray.
yeah.
I should read that.
That's a
Does
great
any?
idea.
Yeah. Does anybody have that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you know where it is?
It's in the third chapter.
I'm like, does anybody know where it is? When Jana describes what I look like.
Yeah.
This is 68.
Gosh, you're awesome.
You can find it if you want. But, I just reread it this morning, and it just was.
Yeah, it probably is further out.
68.
Muffin, a poppy muffin.
68.
Yes.
Yeah. A familiar face. Open the door. Yep.
It's in different script, it's in different font. It's in a softer font.
Yeah, I'm just making sure before I start reading it that reading her word. Oh yeah. It's unreal. Reading her words, the tears falling down my face. No one born with dreams.
That was important though, that piece that you wrote when you were reading.
Yeah, let me. So when I was on my way to detox, my dad didn't know what to do, so he stopped by Jana's work to let her know that he rescued me. And, oh my gosh, I haven't read this book in so long. I asked Jana to put in words a little bit about what she saw that day. It's unreal, y'all. Reading her words has tears falling down my face. No one is born and dreams of the life turning out like this. We don't want to fall on our faces, but life knocks us down, and sometimes it gets really bad before it gets better. This is Jana's part of the story. A familiar face opened the door at the little store I worked. Hi, Jerry. His dark brown eyes twinkled at me above the ZZ Top beard. He quietly, in true Jerry style, picked out his purchases and rang. I may be emotional reading this. Rang him up. After the transition, he paused. I've got Jessica in the car. Jessica, the beautiful teenager with whom I had struck an unlikely friendship, the girl whose sparkled personalities and gorgeous looks prophesied an amazing future. The girl who had been willfully missing for weeks, maybe months. My heart pounded as I followed Jesus out the door into the car. As I opened the car door, my breath caught in my throat as I tried to hide my disbelief. The person crumbled in the seat was an unrecognizable. Her once gorgeous ebony hair hung in long matted clumps. Her fingers with dirty black nails wiped at tears that streamed down her face. Her entire body trembled. It's really like I'm reading somebody else's story. Like it's literally like I'm like, oh wow, that was me.
Right?
If she had anything to eat lately, it wasn't much. Hey girl, her response was hoarse and her eyes stayed down. I told her I loved her and she nodded. No words needed. I'm glad you're home. She nodded again. I shut the door and watched Jerry head out, taking his baby girl home. My heart was both full and heavy for the rest of the day, full of the prodigal that had come home. I didn't know details, but they didn't matter. Heavy because I avoided the opportunity to witness to Jessica about the Lord in the past years. My own life riddled with mistakes and insecurities that Satan firmly used against me. Lord, I don't know what to say. You know I am tongue-tied. I don't have the spiritual gifts to be a witness. My own life is not in order. Why would anyone listen to me? Still, I felt a tugging to go to her. And she keeps talking, but, and as I go on in the story, she's the one who brought me a journal 3 days later. She probably talks about that, but she brought me a journal 3 days later that told me not to quit. So she has a huge part. So reading that's super emotional and like, oh, gosh. So, yeah.
And what you had said, it's like I'm reading somebody else's story.
Yeah.
It is, because this is the rebirth of, like a rebirth.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is what's so hard is, so it took me 7 years to write this book. So when I pushed out the labor of this book, it's not like I go and read it every week. But it's like, man, just reading it, I'm like, man, these were like words that I put on a page. Like, God told me to ask her to write that. Life is so powerful. Because she meant so much to me.
And reading it brought that. I mean, it brought the emotion and the peace and that pain while I was reading it. So it was a huge piece in that.
Wow.
In that book,
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. So glad y'all brought the book because I couldn't find one. I was like, I hope they bring it. I hope she still has some left. They probably can't even hear you, so it's fine. No, it's fine. I really just want them to hear me, so it provokes things for me to say. So.
Yeah, I definitely related to a lot of things through my dad.
I know, this is the second time. Oh, awesome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Wow, at all?
Even when he was around, he was great, but probably like fifth grade, I think was like my last time I
Oh,
saw
wow.
him, so it's been a long time. So definitely really felt those feelings of like not being enough and rejection.
Had you had words to it before, before reading the book, or was it just?
Yeah, it's been a journey, but like I feel like I don't hear a lot of other people's stories.
Yeah.
So it's not like obviously I'm not happy you went through it too, but
Yeah.
like it's comforting to know like
Yeah.
I've gone through it and that
For sure. Yeah, we're humans. Like, we don't want to do things alone, and we want to make sure, and hearing somebody else's story, that's why it was so powerful when I read Joyce Meyer's, because it was like, hearing somebody else's story, like, I knew I wasn't alone. Like, and it wasn't personal. And the things that I was going through wasn't just about me, So I think that's huge as well. I love that.
I'm very, very lucky. Like she
Yeah.
made sure we were brought up in church and planted that seed really early. So like, but I still struggled with her, and I don't. My college was kind of where I kind of came back to God and kind of got back to it. So it's not a little bit of a journey.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, wow. I love that. It's just crazy what that abandonment piece can, and when it comes out, like it doesn't come out until we're squeezed, like it doesn't come out until we're in like a stressful situation. Then we're like, why is this situation so stressful? But it's really not. But it's like a volcano, like it just starts erupting, and once it starts erupting, if you don't deal with it, you're gonna have a lava mess on your hands. So, and it's like, but it's so beautiful that you walked through that and got to the root of it. So, I love that. Yeah. How about you, Mama?
Oh, mama. I got through this without crying. That's all good. Is I like how you started off with the abandonment part, because I feel like of all the things that happened in my life,
Yeah.
it kind of goes back to that same,
Every time.
every situation, you kind of go back to that. So I was brought up in a single family home. My mom suffered from things.
So the kids have any flavor you want to start.
Mm.
Upbringing and stuff, so I still struggle.
Mm.
When I got married, I was an alcoholic.
Mm.
Abandoned us all. But if I didn't have these guys, I would have never made it.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, so that's a mocha turtle, so it's that,
But I just say, you know, I read how that's where it keeps going back, like different, spots in my life and stuff. And I feel like when I took freedom, I don't know if you guys took
Oh yeah. It's like a celebrate recovery, like a
I was
yeah.
like able to get through a lot of it, and really like, okay, I can get past that. I can get past the, still haven't got past the mom part yet.
Mm.
Because to this day, she's still abusive.
Oh, and honestly, I can't give you any hope on that.
I'm the only one that takes care of her.
Yeah.
She's in a nursing home now, but she's still she's not coming. I have the part where you talked about, getting rid of the bad people.
Oh yeah.
You're right. It's like a stuck in a spot because
this is small,
she's still in hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think every situation's different, and I think I think you taking care of your mom is very beautiful. Even I think that's God's love to us, even though we don't deserve it, even though your mom doesn't deserve you to take care of it. That's your responsibility of like giving back grace, loving her, and I think that's beautiful. Mine, I had a choice.
Say, don't take it personal. It's hard because it's like every time it goes back to those wounds.
Yeah, the mom wound is something you'll never get over. Yeah, the mom wound is so deep, and it's so triggering because every time I had a kid, I would just get angry because it's like, where were you? And it's like everybody else has these moms who come and help do their laundry and take their dressing care of them and teaches them how to become a mom. Like the generations before us are supposed to teach us how to do that. And mine just skipped out, but it's made me fight even more on how to figure out how to do it, the right way. So my kids can't.
Wanted their lives different, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to not be that person.
Yeah,
Not that I didn't make mistakes,
of course.
but I definitely did a better job, I think. Right, but,
Yeah.
but
Well,
yeah,
they're sitting here with you.
because there's nothing
So-
I wanted more than was to be a mom.
Wow.
And actually, I was supposed to have a kid.
What?
Actually, my true miracles. Yeah, when I got told I was probably not gonna get pregnant, and if I did, I'd probably lose them. So,
Okay.
prayed. And after a few years,
Boom, boom, bam.
total answer.
Wow.
Yes. So they're my miracles.
That's awesome.
Only big things.
I love that. Yeah, I wish there was a pill that could get us over the mom wounds. I would be rich. I'd be like, here you go. Let's take this. So, yeah, it's just deep. Because, I think I talk about it in the book of it's the one person who's supposed to love you the most is the person who creates you the most pain.
You get jealous like you see other people.
Oh,
Like that, or mom like call up and say, can you go pick up my kids? Like I didn't have that.
yeah. And you need that and you crave that. And then it just makes you angry all over again because you're like, dang it.
And then I hope, like, you know how the cycle keeps going? It's like, okay, here, she was divorced, I was divorced.
Yeah.
You know, whatever, I'm like, I'm hoping I'm breaking the cycle so
Oh,
they
for
don't
sure.
have to go through that, you know?
For sure. Well, I think they know their worth, so they're not going to settle for.
Learn from all of it.
Yeah. I think you definitely are. I love that.
That is actually one thing, like, when I was, like, reading the book, you're talking about how it's, like, the generation.
Yeah.
Her mom and her mom's culture, and, like, it was making me think back. My grandmother really had a good upbringing.
It's crazy.
And, like, really seeing how mom did, like, break the cycle.
Mm.
Raised us so differently than how she was raised.
Yeah.
And really seeing, like, the difference.
Have y'all seen the picture with the shield and the person's holding and the arrows coming to get the kid and the mom's breaking it? I definitely just saw that picture with you of like, you know. Yeah. I love that. And sometimes we just accept the cycles and the curses and the generational like trauma. So
Like, one of the things my mom used to say to me is, well, you hurt the human you love. No, you don't.
no, that's not normal. That's justifying
That's not normal.
trauma.
Correct.
Oh. Yeah. Wow. No, hurt people hurt people.
Right.
That's what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow. What else did you?
I mean, kind of like similar to like Joe, too. Like I definitely related to like the parent stuff and like wanting that like validation and like wanting people to like you.
Of course.
And, like fearing that like even people you do have leave. So it's like I never had to worry about that with you, but
Wow.
like with just like even like just friendships and stuff like that. Like, like I'd be really close to people and then they leave for other people.
Right.
And, like just kind of like putting that like what will I have like other people like mistake.
Yeah. I think too is we don't want anybody to leave, and humans. People come and go out of your life, but it's so traumatic on somebody who's been abandoned because like we feel like that's another hit and another, you know, that's honestly death was such a big part of me growing up, and people would just die, and I'm like, why do people just leave? Like it's like, and it just causes so much trauma, which is natural form of life. But if you're not taught the natural forms, it's just like you're just lost. So I love that.
Oh, it was a pleasant surprise.
Mm.
Yeah, because like the preparedness is not, it's not even part of your life.
Yeah.
It's a dangling, just waiting for the next thing.
Yeah.
To jump on or trigger or whatever.
When you become defensive, like you just become like defensive, and so then you don't let anybody in, and that just hurts even worse, you know? Because we're supposed to have connections, healthy connections.
To think how it starts so young to not even think, because I think at one point I kind of was like, oh, these guys are so young, maybe it didn't impact them as much as because they were younger.
Yeah, really. Him staying as long as he did, or just leaving?
Like them leaving, I'm like, they were young, like how much did they absorb of that?
Yeah.
But they did.
Yeah.
They still felt as abandonment as they did. They were
Yeah.
0 versus 12, you know.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. They were younger.
Yeah, it's a strong, I mean, because it's not supposed to happen, you know?
It just feels personal.
So personal. I love that. It's very personal.
Like the pieces you wrote about, you know, how everything is our fault when we're
Oh,
age, you know,
yeah.
everything. The
It's all
world-
my fault.
The world,
There's a whole
right?
chapter in that.
Everything is your fault, right?
Yeah.
There was a piece that I don't think you gave an answer to in the book. You mentioned going to was it a beauty? No, it was a beauty pageant. It was a lookalike contest.
Oh, for Martina McBride?
You never said what you were flown out there, but you never
What did
said-
I say?
You never said if you won or what
Oh.
happened.
So if you can't hear what she's asking. So yeah, it was when you bought magazines, right? So you buy magazines, and there was a little like card, and it was like a look-alike contest, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna fill that out because my whole life I've been told you look like Martina McBride, you look like Martina McBride, everybody looks like Martina McBride. Anyway, and so I would always be told that. So I was like, as soon as I sent it, I was like, I knew they were gonna call me. So literally, I got the answer. I don't even know how they got the answer then. Like if they emailed me, because I don't check emails, or they mailed me something. But yeah, so I got to go out to Hollywood, California, and I got to go to Ken P's salon, which is like, it was like Jessica Simpson's hair back when Jessica Simpson was big, but she's making a comeback now. But it was like her hair salon, like it was on Hollywood Boulevard. Like it was just so cool. They put in extensions. We did a whole photo shoot. It was me and a Reese Witherspoon lookalike, and then a Kate Winslet maybe? No, I don't know. Some redheaded lady. So we all went in, got made over to look like, and then one of us won the cover of the magazine, and that was me. Yeah. So, which the cover of the magazine, I wasn't the big cover, but my picture was in a square. I mean, I could make this story sound real good. But it was Celebrity Hairstyles 101. Like it was a celebrity hairstyle magazine. And so I was on the front cover of that magazine. Yeah. It was such a cool experience. Yeah. But I did go to her.
I waited for the rest of it.
Yeah.
What happened? She flew to California, but I don't know what happened.
I'm still waiting to meet her. I did go to a concert with the magazine for her to sign. And the people wouldn't let me meet her, but it was not a great experience, so I'm still looking for the shout out. I'm waiting. I did get her to sign it, but her bodyguard took it to her. So I'm like, really, you can't come out and sign? Like, this is a big deal. Big deal to me, but I'm sure. Yeah. Do you see me? Which is crazy because we still even as she's getting older, and I guess I'm getting older too. Only her. We still look so much alike. Like
after reading the book, I did.
You did looked it up.
Like, oh my God. She's
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She's married to a John, and I'm married to a
that's
John,
funny.
and it's just weird.
So where are you from?
So.
Because I know, there's two people that I'm talking to.
Let's just know.
Snowmobile. Did you email me
Awesome.
or did you message me?
I emailed you letterhead, but I
Corinne's so funny. She's like, I don't really know who you are. Can you help me? Oh, yeah. So
talked to your daughter, and then you.
I guess I didn't finish that.
No, it kept me okay. It just kept dangling in my ear.
I guess that was my cliffhanger. Yeah. Yeah. That was cool. So, is there anything else?
All day, September 7th is going to.
I'm gonna probably have a million when I leave here because I kept saying all morning, reread this and bring it back in because I read it the week that.
Of course.
Yeah. And it's been a few weeks and I wanted to feel.
I know I didn't give y'all much time. I'm like, did y'all read it? We're getting this. We're meeting.
And yeah, there was just there's gonna be so much. It's not coming.
You can send it.
Coming to fruition, but yeah.
Well, you said you were going to email something coming in. Like how, so you were talking about speaking kind things over yourself.
Oh,
I'm really mean to myself.
you are?
I'm very self-critical.
Over things you do, over your looks, over what are you self-critical with?
Probably mostly what I do, or even I'm a youth leader, or secretary, and I'm oh, I'm terrible. I'm not good at
No,
this.
she's not.
But those are the things you feel and say.
Right, and I know a lot because I have amazing friends I've met through church, and sometimes I'm like, they want to hang out with me because we serve, or
Yeah.
do
So what do you do when those thoughts come in? You just accept them and
I've been a little bit better since taking freedom because that was a big part of it was replacing the self-critical with things God says about you.
Yeah.
And it was still really good to journal, read that too because it was it's a good reminder. So I do have a few things written on my mirror.
Okay.
I try to in the morning when I'm getting ready. But yeah, that's something I'm trying to.
Yeah, so last night I was at a women's conference and she was saying that our subconscious mind doesn't know that's not true. So when you're saying that about yourself, your body's believing it. So you have to take how serious that is. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like you could be creating the power of life and death are in our tongue. Your body's believing everything you're saying. You should be the nicest person to yourself than anybody, you know? So I think, it's definitely a battle in your mind. And, it's not a sin to think it. But if we're feeling that or saying it or voicing it, and I think it comes from we're saying it because we're afraid of rejection. I think it's rooted in rejection, which is the trigger of abandonment.
Right.
So if I reject myself first, these people don't have to reject me. Yeah. It's why people get large, because they want to protect themselves from rapists and stuff like that. And it's so true. It's like because they've been sexually abused. And you go back and so it's just another protective mechanism that I think that you need to realize how serious it is and realize that it's not helping anything other than it's hurting things. It's creating worse relationships in your life. It's creating worse leadership qualities in you than you want. Because if you were a bad leader, you wouldn't be in leadership.
Well, it's even crazy too because I didn't even volunteer for it.
Yeah.
Approached,
That's what I'm saying.
Erica Jones.
No.
Yeah.
She goes, I stalked you on Instagram and I thought you would be like a wonderful leader.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like it's dumb. Like I know it's not true.
Yeah. But it's in every element of your life. It's not just in those two places that you told me. It's but it's in every area of your life, and I think that you need to be more self-aware because I think it's hindering everything.
And to not get your feedback from the world.
Oh yeah. I
Not
can't
look at-
imagine
not
being
look at
grown
those-
up.
Those places.
Like growing up in today's culture of like social media and all that and the comparison and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, I was just looking back at old videos that I did like 10, 12 years ago. And in that, I was like, I lost my voice because it was in a time where social media was coming up so fast and everybody else was taking off. And it was like, well, my 10 views isn't enough. Well, if I have 10 people in a room, I'm successful. If they get to, and why shouldn't I be sharing the greatest gift I could give people? So I think that it's just the comparison's definitely a thief, and it's defense mechanism. So I love that for you though. If you weren't aware of it, then you wouldn't be changing it.
It's definitely like we went to Uganda last August.
Oh, awesome.
And I very much had a moment like we were just like I got really close to like one of the girls at one of the orphanages we went to, and just got very much. I'm just like, you are like good at this. Like this is like you're a good leader. You're good at doing this. And
Wow.
oh, okay. And
Yeah.
sometimes I still forget that, but it's definitely
Because when you have confidence, you can't be stopped. Because you don't care what anybody thinks. And their opinions are so fickle anyway, it's like, let it change. I think there's a thing, let them, have y'all read that? Like it's like, let them think that, let them feel that, let them act that way. I don't know. I've seen it everywhere and people are getting tattoos of it, but I don't know exactly. I should read it, but I don't know exactly. My attention span's not well. And that's not a defensive mechanism, that is ADD. So, yeah. Well, I feel good about it. I don't know how I thought I'd be talking for 2 hours. Or, can't.
I did really like though how you like did break up the book, like we were saying how you did like the
Oh, yeah.
chapter and then like the Bible verses, like kind of like you were saying, I felt like it really had that.
Yeah.
It like pulls it in.
Yeah,
Like,
you're like you see like
kind of pull it together with the
Yeah.
and you see like the redemption of it. And, like I liked it.
Thank you.
It softened every single blow
Yeah.
You know, just reading that connection of knowing, every minute of every day, we all can just go to God in that instant.
Yeah, for sure.
And it just, to read that pain and then see
Yeah.
that hope and grace and peace
Yeah.
was just, it made it okay while we were reading, I think,
Right.
while we were
Yeah.
reading that pain, to, come through the pain with
Yeah.
that.
It was crazy because I had so much revelation in when I was writing it. It was hard to go back to where I was to write the bad parts, So it was like I had all the revelation. I just had to go back and tell the story.
But did you feel like that was like a healing thing for you though too? Like
Oh, 100%. Because, it took me 7 years to write it.
Right.
Because I would pick it up. And I think motives too. Like, I think I had to go through more things, more maturing things, so I could get the information that people needed. But it was definitely healing. And I had Jazzy at the time that I was finishing it. And, having a daughter, as you know, will make you even healed more because they bring out all the unhealed things of you. And I was like, so I think that and having her and writing the book both took me to new levels. So, yeah. It's just been a weird journey after, I think the book's been out 8 years or 7 years, and it's a whole other thing of like, I'm an author, but I have laundry to do. Yeah, I'm doing this, but I have the trash to take out. So it's been a humbling journey of like, do I, how much of do I pursue? How much do I just let? And I knew it wasn't going to be just like a 6-month thing. It's a book that'll go on forever for generations, and all around the world. And so, and that's what's happened. Like it's been in Australia, rehabs in New Zealand. I have a girl, Love What Matters wrote an article about me, and this girl from Australia messaged me from that article and read the book, and her life's changed. Like she has 2 kids now, sober. One day I'm gonna go visit her.
I just got goosebumps. Oh,
Yeah.
such change.
Yeah.
And so many with so many words, so many wonderful words.
Yeah, and so it's been awesome, just very humbling to see what all has transpired from it. And so for me to be lazy and not put it out there, I'm like, oh, I gotta get it out there. There's Jessica's talking about her book again, but I'm like, I don't care. It's important to me. It's a lifeline.
It was something I saw, I don't think it was in, but it was like, I might even put it on Facebook, but like a picture of, like kind of like a drug addict, like in the back of an ambulance.
Oh.
And, like the EMT that's there, and it's kind of like, what do you ask this person? Do you ask this person, why are you doing this? Or do you ask this person, why are you hurting? Like, what started? It's not what they're currently doing,
Yeah.
but find the root.
The root. It's always the root. Yeah. And if you uncover it more, it's always a root. I mean, anger has a root, bitterness has a root. It all has roots. Sometimes you gotta deroot it.
Yeah. And then if you don't fix one,
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And you bleed on people who didn't cut you. You bleed on people that you meet that wasn't even part of your pain.
I was gonna ask for a bag,
And that's
but
not
he's eating
fair.
the rest of mine. I usually take one little bite and then I take bites.
And they're tiny ones.
I know, I don't eat the whole.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna close this out. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This was so fun. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all later.